Okay, we're back this morning and we want to look at our lid and see how it's done through the night and how the bottom of our casserole looks. We need to smooth it all down, put our handles on, first we use the plastic and we pull up and we get our lid out. I'll take the plastic off so you can see the shape of our lid. It's just a dome shape. And we'll have to smooth the edges and all on it and get it all smoothed off around. We'll do that in a little bit. Lay it down over here on the side. We'll need to check our gallery and make sure that when we put the lid in there, we didn't knock anything off or do any damage. So make sure we'll smooth it back down. We're going to take and flip our casserole over so we can see the bottom. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. And now it's over. We'll see how good the bottom went together. We'll have to fix it. I'm sure we always do. Not too bad. I usually use my fingers and the red rib to start smoothing it. It's a lot firmer this morning. I just left it sitting out uncovered last night. I didn't put it in the little greenhouse like I usually do, because it was pretty wet yesterday and our temperature has been fluctuating. It's been in the mornings, it's been like 50, 52, 48 one morning, and then up to 70s and 80s in the evening. And the humidity's still been pretty high, so my clay's not been drying very fast, which that's good in a way. Or like when I rolled this out and left it sitting on the canvas on the table for 6 hours, you would have thought it would have been a little firmer than it was yesterday. It usually is just a little firmer. Now this is Kentucky Mudwork Speckled Turtle, which I like to use that or speckled brownstone for ovenware, such as baking dishes and casseroles and pie plates. It has a little grog in it, makes it a little stronger. Resist cracking so much when it's drying. And it also makes it a little better with the thermal shock. You don't have as much thermal shock with it. Like you really couldn't use B-Mix or something like that type of clay for ovenware. Anybody that uses B-Mix knows how easily it cracks with its porcelain-like texture, especially when it's drying with handles and such. After it's fired, it's pretty durable, but I don't know if it would be durable to the point of doing any ovenware or anything out of it. I really like the speckled stoneware with a little grog in it for that. It seems to hold up well. Okay, there's our bottom. And I always like to emboss my bottoms. I'm kind of funny like that. I like a smooth, pretty bottom with a surprise on it. I even on my mugs, on everything, I always try to put a little something under the bottom. We'll just sponge it off a little bit. Then I'm going to flip it back over and work on shaping the wall some. And then we'll put our handles on. And now I think I won't put the plastic back under it now. It should be fine. It won't stick anymore to the board, and the board will absorb some of the moisture, so. Now, back up right. Like I said, this is pretty wet, and I'm just going to wipe off this rim in case I got any texture from the board on it. And just go over and check all your little seams. And it was a little wet yesterday to smooth out completely like I wanted to. So this morning you'll go over and do all that. Just check everything. It doesn't take long. Make sure it's all right. And then tomorrow I'll do the same thing. I'll check the bottom, the top, the gallery, the lid. It takes about 10-15 minutes. Check everything over and make sure it's drying correctly. Make sure there's no issue with the shape of your lid and how it fits in your pot. Because sometimes the pot shrinks a little more than the lid, or the lid is uneven and you have to trim the sides off so it fits back in your pot right. And if you keep on top of that every day and keep watching it, then everything will fit together right when it's fired. And I do fire my pieces together with the lid sitting in the gallery. On bisfire and final firing, the glaze fire, which is the final firing to me because I don't use gold and luster and all that good stuff. I like my pieces to be able to go in the dishwasher and to be functional. A lot of times with gold, it can't go in the microwave or the dishwasher, things like that. It has to be treated a lot more gently. I'm going to smooth all this down. Now I'm going to shape this pot a little bit. Now's a good time to shape it. I like mine to be a little bit more squatty. and kind of have it bellied out a little bit. I do kind of do my mugs like this. I like to do my casseroles like that. It just gives them a different shape instead of having a straight side. They also do probably hold a little more. Just like mugs do when you belly them out. You can take a 16-ounce mug that'll hold 16 ounces, and when you get through bellying out, it may hold 20 ounces. Looks can kind of be deceiving with them. We're going to put our find our placement for our handles and go ahead and put them on there. I usually put one on the seam where I put it together, and then I measure. Easy way to measure, if you have a bat that has holes in it for your bat pins, like a masonite bat or something like that, like this, with the holes in it. You can have it underneath or up above, but the holes are directly across from each other. So you'll like put where you know you want your first one, which I know I want my first one where my seam is. And so I'll just mark it. I just got a needle tool, and I'll put a little mark at the top where I know I want it. And then I'll go around to this side, and right under the hole, I'll put a little mark. And that way I know where I'm going to put my handles. And I know they'll be centered. Let's see if I can kind of turn it sideways where you can see it. I'm going to put one of my handles here, and then I have my mark on the other side, and I'm going to put one of my handles over here. And those will be my handle placement. Before, when I cut this out, I cut my handles, and I'm just using half round handles. I kind of like that look. If you wanted to, you could put them on here straight like this. I curve mine. I kind of like the way it looks curved. So just shape your handles like you want them. This was just a 3.5-inch round cookie cutter. I took it and then cut it in half yesterday when I cut my casserole out. So I just take and shape both handles till I get them like I want them, and then I like stick them together like this so I can see if I've got them even, and I have them shaped evenly. My slip kind of shook up. And you'll score your edges. And I'm going to score the edge of this handle with my Sherelle Mud Tools scoring tool. And then I'll add some slip to where I scored at. And I'll use my mark here. I like to have mine about a 1/4 inch or so from the top. And I'll get it like I want it, and I'll press it so I can see where it's going to go. And then I will score my pot and put some slip on it before I attach the handle. I'm going to put the handle right back. And just press it in, but be sure you hold